What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tokin Daily. I'm out here playing with my toy. I got the sword, got the ninja sword in hand. So I was like, what should I do? What should I do for my opening shot? I need to do something. I need to just play and have fun. So I was like, bam, let's go in ninja mode. So I kind of did. So today, for this episode, I have the so-called rig because it's kind of my favorite piece of 2014 here so far. Not to say it's my overall favorite piece. The Mobius still does kind of have that title. But we got the Blackberry, and I got the last little bit of some Godfather Kush in a bag here. So I'm gonna do what I does and set this up properly. About right there, so that should do. And it got a little windy here over like the past 10 minutes, because this morning went out to my coffee shop and the electricity was off in the coffee shop. As I was walking up to it, I was like, are they closed? They shouldn't be closed today. But no, they were just having issues with their electricity. So non-point to that story. Nothing at all that I really needed to say, but I don't know, that's how it goes sometimes when I just start babbling. But when I was walking there, when I was walking back, it was comfortable. Right at about 30 degrees this morning. And there was no wind whatsoever, not even a smidgen. So it was just pleasant out. And then I get home, I set my, or not set up, I prepare all of my stuff, like my bong and my weeds and the ember, because I apparently lost my lighter yesterday. Bad stoner, bad stoner. And as I came out here, it was like suddenly kind of super windy. Not super windy, but very noticeably windy. So it's almost kind of a good thing that I guess I have the ember rather than the lighter, because, well, everybody kind of knows lighters don't do so well in the wind sometimes, or they do if you just shield it properly, but who has the time for all of that proper stuff? Anyways, so lately, ever since, even before the first of the year, but most especially ever since the first of the year, people have been talking about the whole recreational legalization thing a lot. And I like that. I've been a strong proponent for many, many years now, saying that communication with people is the key in legalization. That's what's going to be lending the most to global legalization eventually, is just getting out in the world and talking about it. So it was funny this morning. Is this heated up yet, you darn thing? It might be. I'm gonna try a hit here in just a couple seconds. But there has been a couple articles, one article I guess that the Westward linked to, and then that mentioned another one of basically tourists. The first story I read about a Texan, and then a second about a New Yorker, who are basically these, I don't want to call them rich, douchey assholes, but I haven't really found any other synonymous term that's less forward, yet still retains that full meaning of everything. Anyways, this should definitely be warm enough for a hit, even though I cannot see the redness for the life of me. But the button's flashing that the heat is about to turn off, so it's definitely ready. Uh-oh. That happens sometimes. And not just this piece, but any piece with a full down stem. Because what happens when I clean them is that I don't put it back in there fully. I don't like put it in and give it a little twist to secure it in place. I just kind of set it in there. So sometimes I'll forget that I had just set it in there, and then I'll put some water in it, put some weed in the bowl, and go to smoke it up, and that first time I try to clear it, the down stem comes out. Stoner problems. But anyways, like I was saying, god damn it. Okay, let's fix that. Let's detach the bowl from the slide. Let's make sure the slits at the slide, oh geez, dropping the sword, are at the bottom. There they are. And put the magnet sword back on there. The ice sword now. Make make sure this won't come out after my next hit. There we go, that should be in place good enough. And so, anyways, with those people, the Texan and the New Yorker talking about it, they basically say that they're gonna take their money and go elsewhere. And the one guy was saying basically to the entire city of Steamboat that they should be ashamed that people are talking about it. That's fuck. What was that I loaded? I think that was The Godfather, because that had a small, tiny, teeny little nug in there, along with that normal size nug. So. Onto the blackberry. Oh, I realized I didn't show off The Godfather either, so let's make sure and get a good shot here of this blackberry. And I'll show The Godfather later if I remember to, but sometimes my stoner memory is very much in full stoner form. There, we got the blackberry in her full frosty goodness. And if I had invented smell-o-vision already, I'm still working on that one, y'all would be able to sniff and smell this blackberry goodness. It's one of those strains that it is kind of hard to fully explain the smell, because it is so fruity with that that strawberry blackberry-ish kind of smell to it. And that's before I even break it up. Breaking it up, especially right under my nose, puts a smile on my face every fucking time, without a doubt. And my fingers got all keefy. Not sure if I'm gonna, yeah, so you can sort of see that dusting on my fingers there. Can't let that go to waste now, can I? No siree. So, with the out-of-towners, the tourists talking about not wanting to come here because, not just because they see people smoking pot or they see any blatant, you know, stupidity dealing with it. They even mention in their editorials or whatever they're writing to that they don't want to hear people talking about it. Really? That's my response to that. So, in response to that, my words to everybody out there watching this, all of you, is talk about it. No harm will come if you just talk about it. Now, if you're that super ultra paranoid type, make sure you don't have any pot on you, no paraphernalia or nothing, and just, yeah, literally go out into the world and talk to people about it. Bring up the conversation of pot. Be like, hey, did you hear in Colorado they have recreational weed sales legal now? And just to see where the conversation goes. I wouldn't word it like I just did. That was a very off the top of my head kind of, I should say something right now kind of thing. There we go. That first bowl, that was my very first hit of the day, so I didn't really want to overdo it. I didn't want to even take the whole snapper of this fairly small bowl. Because, well, sometimes it's just more convenient, well, not to have the weed in the sack blow away. Sometimes it's just more convenient not coughing for a couple minutes, especially when I'm trying to do these Tokin Daily shows. So I say goodbye. Ooh, there's a bunch of keef in there. Like, you can see all this dusting right here. That's just straight keef from this jar. Once being full, it's all falling down right now. And me just kind of picking through it. Every time I break a nug up, I'll usually try to break it up. Ooh, keef in the eye, that's no good. Every time I break a nug up, I'll do it over the jar, and that just kind of aids in the keef raining down like a frickin' monsoon into the jar. So, ember's still heated here. Let's load up this Godfather, because I didn't show it off earlier, and I do kind of want one more hit out here, even though it is kind of chilly. That 30 degrees, it's comfortable. It's a nice, decent temperature, especially in wintertime. I'm fine with 30 degrees, but throw in some wind on top of it, and that just goes to making things chilly again. That's when you remember, shit, 30 degrees is technically kind of, you know, below that freezing point or whatever. So, and this one, it's not as white frosted with trichomes as that blackberry was, but it's still got a good coating. Cheers to the Godfather Kush. Trying to turn it around here without being all jerky and shaky, but not working too well. Sort of, I guess. I do what I can. Anyways, let's break this off. Throw the rest of this nug back in the sack and prepare to sign off for the day. Keef in the eye is still kind of bugging me. It's alright, it's alright. I used to be a trimmer and it was like once to 4 or 5 times a day that little flex would fly straight into the eyeball. Ooh, this bowl just looks really good here on the front part of the bowl, the top of the bowl. So, thank you world for watching this babbly morning kind of episode, and I will be back with you again tomorrow for some more Tokin Daily goodness.